Okay, guys, I'm back up in the building with Did You See What I Saw Season 9, Episode 7. This one's called Cutting Ties. I have to say that this episode was pretty good in comparison. I think it was pretty good. It was a lot of information. I'm going to get into it, guys. I am going to get into it, and I'm using my notes today. Notes and no coffee. Anyway, Cutting Ties. Zac and Aaron formed a bond with the D. They formed a bond before the delivery. They formed a bond, and I'm glad to see it. It's very, very necessary. I need for Aaron to keep his head above water because Karen, she does need him. And Aaron he's a good guy. You know, aside from the childbearing hips, he's a good guy. He is. Anyway, Zac shows up as we knew that he would, and Aaron left the room respectfully. I appreciated that. I like that. That's what he should have done. I didn't like the fact that he said he was going to use the bathroom for a few minutes, but maybe that was an ad lib. But anyway, he did leave the room. Appreciated that. However, he was listening. I'll get back into that. He was listening on the baby monitor. What do you guys think about Zac picking Faith up? And then he asks, do you think that she could feel the loss of the twin? Do I think that she could feel the loss of the twin? Of course. Of course. I'm not sure how I feel about Zac holding the baby. I guess that was a healthy thing to do, I think. I think it was healthy in hindsight because he didn't take it any further. Long as he never mentions that again, then I think it was a healthy choice. I'm kind of divided. I'm going to need it for you all to let me know right down here in the comments, but I'm just a little bit divided. Now, I have said this before, and a lot of things that I'm saying right now, I have said them before. Zac did say that Aaron is a good man. He is supportive. And Karen agreed, and she said that she was going to try to make it work with Aaron, or she's going to make it work with Aaron. I'm not sure if Try was in there. I believe she's going to make it work. I think that it's going to work out. She said, and I said this before, that tie that she had to Zac was broken, and this was their moment when they cut the ties. I enjoyed watching old clips. I didn't remember a lot of the clips. I enjoyed watching them, and it brought back the feeling of how Karen really did give Zac a hard time, but Zac was a mess up. And when Fatima came along, all that changed. Zac said to Karen that she helped him to grow up. I guess she pushed him into the arms of somebody that would help him grow up. She pushed him into knowing that he needed to grow up, and then he went into the arms of somebody that helped him grow up. I'm going to give Fatima the praise for that. Karen, she said it. Now I have no ties to you. That might not have been her exact words, but you get what I'm saying. She admitted to him, listen, I don't have that tie. And I don't know how I feel about her admitting it. We know that that's true, but I don't know how I feel about her admitting it, because if the other baby had survived, I believe that the whole thing, it would be a catastrophe. The whole 4-way relationship between her, Aaron, and those two babies. I think it would have been catastrophic, even though Aaron had formed a bond with both babies, as did Zac. So I don't know, but things worked out just as they should. I'm going off of notes. You guys have to bear with me. Karen apologized to Zac. I'm not for sure why she apologized to Zac. I don't know. I would have to go back and look at it. But just thinking, was she apologizing to Zac for her previous behavior, for losing the baby? Maybe I turned around, maybe I blinked, maybe I misunderstood. I don't know, but I do have to go back in and see what she was hitting on. Now, I have to ask this question, and I want you all to answer, because I don't know. Did Karen ever love Zac? Did she love him and she was fed up with his behavior? Did he love her, but he just couldn't get right? As you recall, Zac had stepped outside of the relationship. Now there was talk of him getting this other girl pregnant, but it wasn't real. But I do remember that. I think she worked at the airport, or he met her at the airport, however, or she came up to the airport and announced to him that she was pregnant. So I remember that. So he really gave Karen a hard time as far as him just getting it together. Just getting it together, not cheating, just getting it together. Zac, even without looking behind, he was never a bad guy. He was just young, wilding out. And I think that he felt inferior to Karen's ambition. I know I took it there. That's the psychologist in me. He just felt inferior to Karen's ambition. And she was the type of person that constantly reminded him how he couldn't get right. And some of us, we do that. But Karen wasn't prepared for the consequences of that, because Fatima, here she is getting all of the benefits, everything that she wanted from Zac, or everything that she never thought that Zac was capable of giving her. But Fatima deserved it. But anyway, I think maybe I didn't talk about this before, but this was in my early days of this podcast. But anyway, so the ties are cut. Did Zac ever love Fatima though? Did he really love her? I think so. But anyway, you guys let me know. Dr. Vine calls Andi. I believe that he's her next love interest. I need for Andi to get with somebody that's solid, somebody that's strong, somebody that has a spine. I need for her to get with somebody. Because right now, Robin is out of the picture. He'll be back. But in the meantime, I need for her to find the comfort that she deserves in some strong arms. And I hope that Dr. Vine is that one. I hope he is. He wasn't too aggressive. I don't know why Andi's pushing and moving forward, but I hope he is. I believe that that's how it is written in. And I like it. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. You know, if you've been listening, that I love Robin bad. I love him bad. But I like Dr. Vine. He is present right now. He's available and he's reaching. He's showing interest. So I hope that Andi is not using him as a rebound, as a way to get over Gary, as a way to avoid her feelings for Robin. I hope not. I hope that this is her clean slate and that he's the one. Okay, you all know he's not going to be the one, because this is drama. This is TV. But for the moment, I hope that he's the one. Anyway, Hayden is so excited. His childhood Christmas day. Couldn't sleep last night. Excited. He is. It is sad to see. It is, because I want to see Hayden in a better light. I want to see him as a man. I want to see him that way. And I hope we get the opportunity to. Because he has been a jackass, I believe, since the beginning of time. Yeah, since the beginning of time, since he started chasing Fatima. He's been a jackass. But anyway, I hope that they give him a chance to decide. Now, he was so excited when that other ball player came in dunking. He was excited, So Fatima's like, okay, we're going to give you a chance. This was in the previous episode number 6. So he's out there and he's just pretty much pitching. As Fatima said, Hayden is good at his job. It's just that other things that he does get in the way. So they spit Hayden. I couldn't read Duncan's mouth. I couldn't read his lips. But in other words, look, I got to get out of here. He's getting on my nerves. I want you to handle things. That's how it came across to me towards Fatima. I don't know what the guys are talking about in terms of Fatima. The ball players, Duncan and the guy that was there not last episode, but the last episode. I can't remember his name. You guys know how I get with not only names but new people, new cast members. But I believe that they're kind of looking at her in such a way. Now here comes Tamara or Tamara. Tamara. I think I got it. Here comes Tamara. Just just why? Why are you there to break up with Hayden? You couldn't have did that at home. You didn't came up on this man's job. But anyway, before she makes it into the office to break up with Hayden, she's out here throwing out bait to this basketball player. He first seemed a little annoyed, but then when she walked off, he was checking. And Fatima had to let him know, look, you go that way, you're going to end up with herpes simplex number 10. She let him know. And so I think that's it. I'm not sure what Tamara is up to, but Hayden is tired of her and she is tired of Hayden. All she wants is money and a good time. And she's probably not going to get a good time out of Hayden. He just doesn't look like that kind. As far as money, not sure about how that's going to go. But anyway, she can leave. She can go ahead and leave. And if you guys don't know, she's a Detroit girl, such as myself, but she can go ahead and leave. It was crazy when Hayden called her a slut. Do we use that word anymore? Do we use that? I mean, slut and scallywag, they're kind of like on the same wavelength. But he called her a slut. Was he lying? Mm-mm. So hopefully that's the end of her. Hopefully we're just going to that was us seeing the back of her head getting smaller. Hope she's out of there because she's purposeless. For what? But anyway, back to Sabrina at the bar, looking dumb. Okay, she didn't wear the dress that I really like. She wore the prom dress. She wore the prom dress. That dress looked like it could have came straight out of Windsor. Like it could have come from the wedding dress store, like the formal wear store. That was definitely giving prom. But anyway, so she wears that dress. She shows up to the bar, and there is Hayden. I'm sorry, not Hayden. Maurice there being her coach. Being her coach. If you need a coach, then you need to go home. Just go home and stop it. Take a break. Why is it that they feel like they need to be with somebody? Danny doesn't seem, I don't think Danny goes that way. Oh, once again, Tony was not on this episode. I was going to mention something. I'll get back to it. I think I know what it was. But anyway, okay, let me speed up. Why Maurice was telling Sabrina to bat her eyes. Who says that anymore? Now, Paige is there. I don't know why Paige is there with her makeshift French roll or whatever, her little side swoop that she has. I don't know why Paige is there. I wish what they would have done, this would have taken away from the humor, but I wish they would have got somebody that was closer to being brown just a little bit, because this right here. But anyway, so she's there and she's told she told Sabrina that she had cow eyes. So right away Maurice was like, don't you ever let somebody call you a cow, heifer. Ain't that the same thing? Like is it not that the same thing? Heifer is my word. That's my go-to word. But anyway, going back over my notes. Okay. Here we go. I wasn't expecting this for real, but then again, I was. Oh, I'm sick of Pam. That's all I got to say about Pam. We don't have to mention her anymore. Andi. And I did make reference to this last time. I was hoping that I was wrong, but I wasn't. Nope, I wasn't. First of all, okay, you accepted the date with this doctor. He said coffee later in the week, which was very respectful. You said, listen, let's get this thing popping tonight. Drinks on you, pretty much. But anyway, so Andi enters the conference room where Fatima is working, and she's serious about her work. So Andi is like, okay, what are you doing? And so Fatima lets her know, I'm working on this, pretty much the intake. So she's beginning the process. Now, Andi told her to do it, but now Andi is turning cold because this is her second client. No, Andi did not try to hate on Fatima. I think Karen was my favorite character, if you all recall. She was my favorite character at the beginning, like when the beginning, the season number 1. But now, Karen lost me. My favorite character, it has to be 2. It would be Danny and Fatima. And I think the reason why is because they have genuine hearts. But anyway, so Andi comes in there and I'm surprised, but she came in there with her broom, like, okay, what are you doing? Pretty much like I said 1 and now you have 2. And so she's kind of secretly throwing shades like palm trees. Like she's kind of secretly doing it. But it was very obvious that she was hating. She's like, okay, I said 1, you doing 2. What you think you doing? So she's looking over her notes. She says something to the effect, and let me look at my notes because I don't want to mess up. She said, this will be good practice, pretty much. When you finally pass the bar, you heifer. She said, when you finally pass the bar, Fatima looked. You know that's going to hurt Fatima's feelings. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just my allergies. You know that's going to hurt her feelings because Fatima, when she loves somebody and she's this type of girl, she loves hard and she really loves Andi. She really looks up to Andi and she's down. She's down with Andi bad. Like whatever you need, what's going on? I got my bag, my Vaseline, and my gym shoes. What's up? What you need? But for Andi to hate on her like that and Fatima to see it, that's not a good look, especially if she goes back to Zac and tells him, listen, my girl, she hated on me so hard. I hate that because, Andi, that's not you. But see, she sees, and a lot of people in life, they see you getting bigger. Some of us, and I'm not talking about me, but some of us enjoy friendships when we are doing better than that friend. And I think the reason why is because there's no competition. I'm over you. You have to come to me. I can come to you because you're always going to be available because you look up to me. I have put myself in that place, and that's what Andi has done. If you remember about it, go back. I believe it was the first episode when Fatima was just, I don't know if she was a receptionist. I think she started out as a receptionist. That's all she was. Not saying that that's a small thing, but in comparison. So now she has moved up the ladder. She went on to become Andi's assistant. I'm thinking that now she's not just an assistant, she's a paralegal. But I guess that's pretty much what a paralegal does. They assist the lawyer. But anyway, Andi, she does not want Fatima to outshine her. She knows that Fatima is dedicated. And if you think about it, Fatima worked harder than Andi. Andi always going through her emotional problems, sitting on the desk at the phone. Fatima be humping. She humps. So Andi, she hated on my girl. I ain't like that. And then I was looking at my notes. And then when she finished talking to Fatima, hating on her when you pass the bar exam, when she doubled back, she's like, let me take a look at what you're doing. And she wanted to find something wrong, but she couldn't. Or either she was letting Fatima know, listen, this is my lane and your lane is on the end of my lane, but you will not create your own. And so when Andi got to the door, she turned around and she kind of gave a look. Girl, if you don't go sit down. But she gave a look like, Fatima's feelings had to be hurt. They had to be hurt. So I hope, and it's never going to happen, but I hope that one day Fatima will sit her down and say, listen, I heard you. I saw you. I don't like it. Don't make me go get the bag. Don't make me call madam. Now, y'all know I'm just going too far. It's never going to get that way. But still, she does need to let her know, listen, Miss Ma'am, I saw you. I heard you. Now go on and sit down. Let me see. I'm looking at my notes, guys. Okay, when Danny And Andi came over to Karen's. I thought I missed a scene. I thought I missed it because Zac was gone. They didn't say he was leaving. They didn't cut. Well, they did cut. They didn't even move on into. They cut like, here comes Danny and Andi, not knowing that Zac just left. Like, I thought they were gonna run into Zac. I thought they were gonna run into Zac and say, "Listen, what are you doing here? This isn't a good idea." It was a good idea. Let me just say that. But anyway, he was gone. Aaron was like, "Okay, y'all just missed Zac." Karen, she's coming around. She's coming around, and I'm glad that Danny stayed behind when Andi had to leave for her meetup with Dr. Vine. I'm happy that Danny stayed around because you have to remember that the girls are clicked. They're clicked. You have Sabrina and Danny. If you think about it, the two of them are always together and confiding in each other. Everybody else is going to learn, but those two, they're going to share it first. And the same with Karen and Andi. Those two, that was the other click. They're clicked up. So Karen was like, "Okay, where are you going?" I don't know why Andi is being so secretive about this. She doesn't want anybody to know what she's doing. Even when she was talking to Fatima, she doesn't want anybody to know what she's doing, that she's going out with Dr. Vine. And it's ridiculous. Well, I guess she wouldn't. She might have felt funny telling Karen, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see why she wouldn't tell. Well, I see why she wouldn't tell Fatima now because she's hating. But otherwise, I don't see why she would not tell her. Looking at my notes, guys. Oh, no, Daddy did not tell Karen that she has a good man. She did the my man. That's a good man, Savannah. She did that. It was cute. It was cute. I'm looking over my notes because so what's her name? Sabrina was having bad luck with the men. I don't know why she thought she was going to go to the club and meet somebody just like that. You do have to weed through them. Not that I have experience, but if I was to go to a bar just for the meetup, you got to go through some weeds. But anyway, so Sabrina's like, "Okay, this ain't for me." So she's getting ready to go to the restroom, I believe, and she runs into this guy. When I saw the guy come in, just out the side of my eye, kind of like one of those, I thought it was Horace from Beauty and Black. I was about to just toss my, what is he doing here? But anyway, it wasn't him. It was another guy, and he was handsome. He was handsome. So we're going to see what comes of this. You're going to say I'm petty and being crazy. I just wish that he had more white hair because, come on, if you go white, go white. I can't talk because I'm struggling for mine to get all white, but his hair, they could have come on spray it. But anyway, so that was the end, I do believe, of this. Oh, wait a minute, let me go back. So Rich shows up while while Sabrina's at the bar, ready to confront Daddy with the white hair. Ready to confront him like you have, boy, if you don't sit down. So now we have him there. We have Paige and Maurice, and then we cut to Dr. Vine, who's right there. I'm not sure what that's all about. I don't know if that's going to uncover what Andi's doing, but I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. But they're all in the same place. Like, that's the only game in town. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. Now, moving on to next week. Next week, we're finally going to know how Fatima is feeling about everything, how she's going to feel about Zac visiting Karen. Let's see. I said the rest, didn't I? But we're going to get to see how Fatima's really feeling. She needs space. She needs a comfort space. She needs somewhere, a safe space. She needs that. But here comes Zac getting ready to put more stuff on to Fatima. Guys, that's it. That's it. Keep watching. This is going to be a heavy upload weekend. I got a lot of stuff for you guys. But yeah, this episode was alright. Okay, on that note, I'll be around, and I'm looking forward to you guys listening to what I have to say and commenting.